heartbreaking, but it helped me to wake up and realize that no, it's not about that. It's not about how, where I went for school. That's going to make a difference. In fact, I remember one particular employer saying, even because the mukauya tikakutumaingana kuti kuroweni matinu unenge uchitoshaya autozivi because you've not been around for so long. So tikakutuma mtown unogona kutorasika. Saka atitombokudei imimi because munonetsa kushanda nemi vanobva outside. So I tucked my tail behind my legs, and I had to talk to my mother. At that point, she had just started her consulting firm, and I said, "Hey, Mom, I'm here. Maybe I could lend a hand." And she said to me, "The only role that's available was administrator," and it was like, "Dior kugadzira tea, Dior kufonera ma visa, nekubhuka ma flights," because she works. Her work takes her to places. So that's all I was doing. Literally, and a few things here and there. Kana pakanzipane training workshop, ndiyo kugadzira ma workbook, ndiyo kumhanya wakatakura PowerPoint projector. It really humbled
outside
me.
of what you had anticipated. Good.
Yes.
Coming from varsity and
so it was
land a job.
Exactly.
That's a high earner.
It was humbling for me. I realized that, you know what? It's okay. I mean, this season, I've got to find a way to bloom where I've been planted. And I think in those years, not just was it humbling, but it was also a time for me to learn. So I started to pick up on things, and Mom started trusting me with more work. I think 2-3 years down the line, the company was now growing. I then moved, actually it was probably in the 4th year, where I then moved into a managerial role, and then I also started doing training because I had started to watch her. Saka, as I was, going to my strategy sessions, it wasn't just WhatsApp or whatever. I would listen in and I would sort of connect with what she was talking about. Now I do the same. I run strategy sessions. I also now have an assistant. You see, so I think it's important to realize, Kuti, you can get there, but you're going to have to go through a season maybe of humility, a season of learning. And I think when you are in
it's good you're having this conversation with young people, because for most, I'm talking for those in 2025 coming up, they're thinking that it's automatic, that, they just have to go in there and everything has to make sense for them. They don't want to humble themselves. Yeah. But then you have to go through the process. For most young people, they don't want to go through the process.
It took me about, like I mentioned, 4 years just being in admin. 4 years. So the 4th year is when I sort of transitioned into more training. And but training actually what you and someone else are team leader. Run a workshop, yes. But now I can be trusted to run a whole workshop, by myself. And in fact, I've built my own brand and my own name in training and coaching. But it didn't start there. It started, in 2013. That's how many years now? 10 years now, isn't it? So I think you have to realize that the journey can take you a while. There was someone who was asking me, I want to do exactly what you're doing. I want to be coaching and be called by people to say, come and do 3 days of training. What can I do? And I said, well, you gotta be willing kuti unogona kutomboita mamwe magiga usingabhadhara. Unogona kutomboita, sometime yaunenge uchingoenda uri under team leader. Uchiwana maybe even half of what they are earning. Sometimes I would have to work on my budgets and what are not team leader? I don't make like 1.5 euro, but are like 200. It can be heartbreaking, but you have to understand that you are paying for the education you're receiving in that moment.
And the experience.
And the experience you're getting in that moment. So realizing that your journey will not be linear. Your story will not be the same with the next person. I have friends of mine that soon after university, they got jobs, good jobs, and started to flourish, But in me, it wasn't like that. It took me a bit of time. And I remember at that point in time, the money that I was making was not significant as an administrator. But then here comes the kicker, which is probably the second point I wanted to make, that whatever amount of money you are making, the financial principles of budgeting, saving, and investing are the same.
Even with this money.
No.
I was like, what am I saving? Those peanuts, what am I saving?
I know, everybody says that. In fact, yesterday I was at a church meeting where I was talking about, planning for the future. And then one of the young people said, like maybe 3 months. 4th month, my savings I took saver.
Yes, yeah. It's real.
And I was like, it's true. But at the same time, it also means that we have to be strategic about what are we doing, even with the little income that we have. Are we budgeting it? Are we saving it? And also, are we making an effort to invest in assets? I always say this to people when they say, investment in Maria Kawanda. Not necessarily. There are some entry levels a investment. I'm not going to at least something that financial capacity to then play at the big levels, of a big construction business or whatever. Like we were talking about just before we went on equity, transport industry, Chayakanakira is in my entry levels akasiyana. Unongotanga neka mota kadiki, wakuita taxi. But kamota kadiki kanogona kana 2000 chai. And it entry level yoyo. Kozo ito wangwan wakuita zvema trucks. Big business and Saka, you have to understand that I don't just come from nowhere to be earning a lot of money. I have to start from somewhere. And I think those principles of budgeting, saving and investing are super important, particularly if you're making little amounts of money.
Well, particularly if you're making little, you need it even more.
Kuti it make sense. Even not shoma, it make sense.
No, it's not making sense.
In fact, ukatotadza kuiplana iri shoma yawandaka to overwhelm.
Yeah, that's true.
And it kicks up even bigger levels of spending for you because now yawanda. Saka my financial habits awanga we now when you had little money, become even more amplified when you've got more money. That's the actual truth. So it's important for you to sit down and say, hey, pamari shoma yo indukwa $100. Even if I'm saving $10, even if I'm saving $2, whatever it is, $1 a week, what can you then do with an extra $52? It may not sound like a lot, but for someone who's earning $100, that's more than half of what you are earning in a month. So it can give you something, can give you a leeway to do something. And then also the third thing is, if you're a young person, take some time to research.
Entry level.
And I don't want to see people writing in my inbox because I get these messages after the show. Hey, and pay my ideas. I will not give you business ideas.
Okay.
For the why. Number one, and this ZB my skills and this ZB what you are good at. Number two, I don't even know where you live. Your context can determine what you can do. Munhu ari kubhindura uko anogona kuita mari nezvimwe zvinhu zvekuti munomu hazviitipe mari. So it's important for you to understand your context, understand your skills, understand your talents, then go out there and research what are people doing differently. I remember when I started training financial education or personal finance training, I noticed that there were people who were doing the same. We were also training financial education. So I had to distinguish myself from them. Kuti zvangu zvimake sense ndiwanewo market yangu anditi. And I noticed kuti for a lot of the people who were teaching financial issues or financial management, there were not a lot who were talking to young people. Saka ndakatanga kungoita ma session ema young people. And there were not a lot of people who were doing workshops online on WhatsApp, for example. So I started to contextualize my content, package it in such a way that I could put it online and sell it online. So I'm saying these things so that you understand, but it takes time to get to a certain place, and it also takes you researching. Intentionality. Udane at least uchitonyora pasi. Kana zvichikunetsa famba mubaro. Umwe yazonzwisa kuti zviri kumbofamba sei. Do you know people are willing to talk to you? If they see that you're a young person who's trying to make it, they're willing to talk to you. Do a survey in the area where you live. Do a survey in the city where you live. Do a survey even to people who have made it successfully. Makatanga say kuti munge muri pamuri apa. Oh, makatanga ne $20. Say makatanga say ne $20. So that you learn from them and you learn from their steps. Of course, the Spanish one with all illegal ways of making money, but we're not even talking about those. Yeah. We're talking about the mass, the many people who are feeding their children and taking kids to school. What are they doing differently that has helped them to be where they are today? So, and then fourthly, for those of us who are young, and Tanevana, pressure yakawanda and all of that, I also want to say to you, if you are living, let's say, in the big city, particularly those of us who are living in Harare, munodhura kugara handiti kana ukaona kuti hazvisi kumeka sense tsvaka find a day raunongoitawo day trip womboenda kana papindura day trip womboenda pachinhoyapa woona kuti zvakamirawo sei kunzvimbo idzodzo. You know what, when you are young you are highly mobile, you can move. Wasiyana nevanhu vekuti vakutaura kuti pandakatotenga imba and what
Okay,
hauna
to go
imba
there and look for opportunities.
Look for opportunities
and the possibility to relocate.
To relocate.
Okay.
Why are you living in a place that maybe you are paying 3 times rent that somebody maybe in Yabira or in Chinhoi or in Pindura is paying less for? And maybe for the same amount of space you have. I have a friend of mine who stays in Gweru and a bigger house than mine, but Badara rent, which is half of what I'm paying here in Harare. Saka, if I am really thinking, how am I going to maximize my income levels, I may also have to rethink where I'm situated, the context in which I am in, and if it's making sense financially for me. Saka, ndinoda kutaura nema young people kuti gara pasi ufunge plan yekuti how do I make money in this environment. And remember kuti isusu taane benefit yekuti taane internet.
Yeah.
And so the ways to make money now are just, there are too many to count. You see, I will not give, that's why I said I will not give you business ideas because there are too many. Akatowandisa ukagara pasi ukanyatsozifunga, you can make money with anything. Kune ma SME izvezvi ari kutsvaga vanhu vanogona kungovagadzirira maflyer, kungoita design yeflyer chete achiisa paWhatsApp pake nepafacebook pake. Handiti one wao are willing to pay $60 to $80 every month. Ukawana vanhu vako 5 waunoitira izvozvo waane mari by $60 waane 300, kana iri $80 waane chi ndinogona metse waane $400.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So the ways to make money, there are too many, guys. Inini ndinogadzira maflyer angu neCanva, handitomboiti Photoshop, but nezvinhu izvozvo zvishoma izvozvo ma-free tools anogadzira maflyer.
That's so true, eh?
If
you are looking at
talented,
60 for one client,
yes,
and maybe that's little for one client, but then for 5 clients, now that's something.
That's something.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time where inini during lockdown, because I didn't have anything to do, my workshop vanhu vaiti online iri kunetsa, mazoom ari kunetsa vanhu chichi, saka kuside kwedu kwetraining and coaching kwakatodzikira zvishoma. There were no budgets for that. People were not training HRs or anything like that. Ndakataka kuzvidzidzisa creative design, and I started getting clients, my SME ndichivagadzirira my designs. Now last week I was being told that my flyer was posted in some group Rema designers and they were busy like analyzing the flyer. Do you guys, what are you talking about? I'm not even a designer. I just learned this by myself. So as young people, we have the ability to do this.
Let's be innovative. Let's be innovative. Yeah.
Uswera uri paNetflix nekungotamba nekuita mujolo, guys. So zvinetsere mujolo. At least find your time and make your time productive.
That's so true.
You know, a full day for you as a young person, you can do so much. Kana isusu tine vana tu tichinyora mabhuku, tichigadzira maflyer, tichiita macoaching session, tichigadzira mapowerpoint, tichiita mareport nemaproposal. Ko iwewewo zvako usina kana responsibility yekuti ungaswera uchinetsana nayo. Guys, let's be innovative. I know that our environment is tough, but with a good attitude you can overcome and you're able to make it like the rest of us.
Welcome to our TED Talk. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Shalom, how can people get in touch with you? Thank you so much. Very, very helpful information, as always.
On WhatsApp, 0788 412 018. I'll say it again, 0788 412 018. We're starting a class on Wednesday for young people. So if you're interested in that, send me a message and you can be part of that class.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Shalom. Money Mondays right here on the Morning Galaxy on Star FM. Check your time with mine, 10 o'clock. Time for the news.